This is the vol scanner page. And a reminder now, either on this vol scanner page or on the tickers page where you can look at the vol scanner specifically for a single name, if you click in the cell for in here, what we now have is you're going to go right to this screen. So let's say Tesla 60-day maturity. First of all, remember, if you hover over it on this tooltip, it'll tell you, because what we're doing is we're saying 60-day. So we're picking the closest expiry to 60-day. That's the logic behind this. So it says, okay, the 60-day, this is the 335 strike, and the IV today is 64.2. The IV yesterday is 65.1. By the way, this is like IV today here is yesterday's, like near yesterday's close, because the market's closed today. So if I click on it, it will take you right to this page. And you can see now, normally you would have a green line which shows you today's values, and the black line is showing you the prior day's values, but the market's closed, so you don't get a green line. But you'll basically be able to see how much the vol has changed at a particular second. It's a more granular view of what's happening in the market. So basically what's happening to the strike vols. So, if the strike vols on the downside, if you saw the strike vols in the upside calls fell faster than the downside did, you would see that the call skew is basically coming in. Is another way to sort of interpret that. What I usually do is, if you look at it over the entire range, your left scale here is just preposterous. So what you can do is two things you can do. You can actually just go like that, and it'll zoom in automatically. You just hover over, or click over it, and it will zoom into the strike range that you grabbed. If I hit reset zoom, I go back to this look. And then, but the other thing you can do is you can just narrow your range using these sliders. There you go. And you can there's only a minimum of like how far you can make it, and then you can just slide the slider around. So this is just another way to kind of zoom in. And then you can also switch this, and you can go and change your option expiry if you want. And then this is by strike. So if you want your x-axis to be strike, but you could also do it by delta. So this is going from the 90 delta call or the 10 delta put to the 10 delta call, right? So you get the whole, you get the same picture over on a delta relative basis. Okay. So yeah, just a reminder, if you go into that, so even if you go to the tickers page, it's gonna mine auto populates with TLT. I go to the tickers page and say, okay, looks like on July 18th, the 50 delta calls down, I click this to click. July 18th, the 50 delta call is down 0.2 of a vol. I click on that, same thing. It's going to take me to the July 18th expiry, and boom, I've got the picture right there. So that's a new feature. That's called the volatility visualizer. And you can go directly to the volatility visualizer, populate your ticker, your expiry, and whatever, but feels to me like a natural workflow would be to look at the grid, either on the vol scanner or anywhere where you're seeing the vol changes, and then click on the cell, and it will take you to this view. That seems like a more natural workflow to me. So that's the strike visualizer tool.